Yeah, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank is the M41 Bulldog. This is an American Tier 7 light tank. The map is Lakeville. I'm also working on a mission. LT15, the Aggressive Recon Specialist. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. The total damage caused and damage caused by your allies upon your spotting or destroying a track of an enemy vehicle must be at least 5,000 hit points. So this will be a successful run, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to one of the bushes here to spot the enemy tanks on their way to town, and I have the coated optics and the binocs. I have full camo for my crew. I've probably got Recon.
Ready to fire.
And what I do is I use the auto-aim to lock onto the tank, even though I'm not going to shoot at it.
I don't see the target.
But there's times when I break down and say, you know what, I'm going to have to shoot at somebody. So sometimes I lock onto a target just so that if I get spotted, I'm going to shoot at those tanks. So I pre-pick a tank that I might shoot at if I have to. Basically, if I were spotted, I have the auto-aim locked on. I would have put the view like this. I would have hit reverse. I would have driven backwards, and I would have watched the road, so my vehicle would be driving backwards, and I'd be watching this view, and I would be firing the button, hoping to hit shots, not looking at what I'm hitting, but the auto-aim would keep locked on while I was driving in reverse. This, as you can see, I have the auto-aim locked on, but it appears as though I was keeping an eye on this road to see if any tanks were coming down. It looks like a tank suicided. And sometimes I check to see if there's a lone tank that I can take a shot at. All those dead tanks that you see out in the field, I got the credit from the damage that was done to them. That's an example of a tank I might shoot at. Just keeping an eye on them. Checking to see if anyone else is around who might spot me. Pulling back. Now, when I'm pulling back, there's one of two things that might happen. Either I'm planning on firing and hoping that nobody will spot me. I pulled back so that when you're behind a bush, it's more difficult to be spotted than if you're actually in the bush. And the other option is I might either head up the road to clear it out, or I might relocate to another position to get a different view, or do something else that will help out my team. Looks like I'm going to try and take a shot on this guy. Okay, so I pulled back to fire on this guy.
Penetration. Target acquired. Let's find another target.
If they move around a lot, you want to use the auto-aim, otherwise you'll miss a lot.
Ready to fire. Ricochet.
You can see he hasn't spotted me,
Armor is hit.
so he doesn't know that I'm there.
We didn't penetrate their armor.
And I switched to the higher penetration. I switched to the gold rounds.
We didn't penetrate their armor. Target released. Ready to fire.
I can't believe that guy rammed into me.
Critical hit.
Now,
Find another target.
you can see what this MT25 did. I don't know what he's thinking, but he was hitting me, and he got spotted, so the enemy took a shot at him and almost hit me. And that's one of the things that can happen in this game. You don't want to have stupid tanks next to you. I've died before. One guy did it intentionally. He drew the attention of the enemy, so when they shot at him, they killed me, and then he used me for an obstacle. Looks like they got a second tank that suicided. Yeah, when I see stupid players like this MT25, I just get away from them. I don't want them near me. They're just troublemakers. They're guaranteed they're not going to do anything worthwhile.
Target acquired. Target unlocked.
Now again, you want to use the auto-aim whenever you can because it stabilizes the gun. If you don't use it, your gun will bounce all over the place.
Target acquired. Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy is hit.
Now basically, as you can see, I use the auto-aim on the GW Tiger, easy penetration, and I'm zoomed out, and what I'm thinking right now is I'm keeping an eye on this T-54 to see what he's doing. I didn't know how many shots I needed on the GW Tiger. Usually I assume 2, but it looks like he needs a 3rd, and at the same time I'm also checking to see how I'm positioned next to this rock. If I were too exposed, which could have happened, I would be able to reposition. I'd be able to drive my tank around to get closer to that rock and still fire at that GW Tiger.
Where'd they go?
Okay.
Target acquired. Enemy armor is destroyed.
I think I realized that the T-54 is not firing, and I thought, well, maybe he's AFK. So at some point I realized that, and I started taking shots at him.
We didn't even scratch them.
Now what I did was, just in case, I didn't want to get hit, so I locked on to him with the auto-aim, and then I hid. So I'm going to expose myself to fire and then hide again. And when you do it with the auto-aim, you can do it a lot faster.
That one didn't go through. Target release.
Okay. So I decided to try and hit his lower plate manually. It didn't matter.
Ready to fire.
This is a case where you want to lock onto him, circle him,
Penetration.
try to stay away from his gun.
Penetration. Where'd they go?
It wasn't really good playing, but
To engage.
there was some ricochet.
One of our gas tanks ruptured. We're low on fuel. We didn't even scratch them. We didn't penetrate their armor.
Now you'll notice that just to get across to the other side, he took a couple shots at me, I took a couple shots at him, but I had to do all of that. I used the auto-aim just to get to the other side where I could find a safe shooting position. Now I'm in a safe shooting position. You can see that I need repairs. My ammo is damaged, which means it's going to take a longer time to reload. Let's see what happens next.
One of our tracks is damaged. Ammo storage is hit. We're lucky it didn't blow.
Hit the track.
Critical hit. Critical. Bail out. This vehicle has had it.
When you hit the track, if you look at the mission, LT15, it says destroying a track of an enemy vehicle counts. So when I hit the track and I track the vehicle and my allies are doing damage to him, I'm getting the credit for the mission. So that's ultimately what the goal was at that time that I was sitting here. Okay, so that is the M41 Walker Bulldog. The map was Lakeville. I got 1 kill. The mission was LT15, the aggressive Recon specialist. Unfortunately, I did not survive the battle. You know, it would have made such a huge difference. I should have done whatever it took to survive this battle because it would have gave me the extra commendation. Okay, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.